yesterday. It was weird too. I feel like we know each other. No, Carter and I have known each other since he was born. Oh, since I was born. He's older. I'm taller. I think for the first time in Carter's entire life, he admitted it probably about a month ago. He came inside and he looks at me and says, "You're taller." And then we had a moment of silence. So, but I have a gift for you two, and I need to get it now, otherwise I'll forget it. Just in case things go wrong, you can bury someone. No, Carter and I have been brothers our entire lives, except for the time that we weren't, but we were most of the time. But Carter and I didn't always get along. We had a lot of times fighting. Most of it was over how wide the door would be open when we would go to bed, because I don't like the dark. And Carter was like, I don't think he did either, but I think he only wanted it dark just because I didn't want it to be dark. And so my dad would come in and say, 2 fingers, and he would close the door to 2 fingers, and I'd be like, it's still light, shut up. But no, my parents were always like, to get us, to hang out more, they're like, why don't you just go to each other's like extracurricular activities? So I tried to have some good ones, and I played basketball. That's fun to go watch. But Carter, I played football, also a manly thing to do. Carter didn't want to come, so I was like, maybe I'll swim. Maybe I want to come watch people swim. He didn't want to do that either. I gave him all these good choices, but then so I had to go to his events, and he had boys choir, which was really fun to go to. I was like, maybe he'll play a sport. I had band rehearsals that I went to. Sorry for the people, I didn't know that. So I definitely feel like I gave Carter the better end of the stick of things to come to, but whatever. So, but the cool thing was, and it was really cool today, because the thing that Carter always did, and like our relationship grew so much, is I grew up in and out of the hospital a lot, and there wasn't a time where he wasn't there, except when he started dating Kathryn. No, I'm just kidding. No, he was always there, and he would miss band practice as hard as it was to miss it, and he would come, and he was never not there with me in the hospital. And I was bummed out because he never went to the hospital, except for today. Bonus! And he would always make fun of me because he's like, I've never broken a bone, I'm so tough. Except for today. So, let's give a round of applause on his first broken bone. Okay, now I'm going to try to find my speech, because I have it written out. Hold the shovel. And it's not that long, but I just have it typed out. Because I forget.
I see small text.
No, there was one thing that Carter and I did growing up, and I don't know if you know about it, Kathryn. It's really embarrassing. But, okay, no, it's not. The thing that Carter and I did was, if any of you guys came over to our home when we were little, we had this hole. And people would come over and be like, what is that hole in your yard? And it was off in the corner, and it was just this ginormous hole, and we could stand up, and it would cover my head, but I was like 4, so it's really short, but, we would play in it, and that's what we did, is if we weren't doing anything, we weren't allowed to have video games growing up, we dug holes. Dig a hole. If you've seen Holes, that movie was based off of our life. We just didn't wear the orange jumpsuits. No. But that's what we did. And Carter and I would go out in the backyard and just spend hours digging in this hole. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. But we would dig. And we would just go out there, and people were like, where are Carter and Wilson? They were digging. And that was one of the hardest, probably most challenging things we did, because holes don't just appear, like you don't just blink and then there's a huge hole. You have to work for it. You have to get dirty, we would come inside literally just covered in dirt. And our hands would be calloused and we'd be bleeding, or Carter would hit me with a shovel, or I'd hit him with a brick or something. But we just dug. And the more and more I thought about it, is that's how our relationship grew. And we wouldn't be the same if we hadn't dug that hole. So I thank you, Mom and Dad, for making us dig the hole. But I was thinking about it, and there's a couple things that this hole represented, and I want you guys to have this shovel. And you know how people hang shotguns in their house? I thought it'd be really cool hanging a shovel. But take it or leave it, it's whatever you want. I'm not an interior decorator, so. But we dug this hole together, and that's what we did. And today you guys are starting life together. I know you guys have been dating, and you guys have known each other pretty much your whole lives. But today is the day where you guys are going, and you're going to be together all the time. Unless you leave and you're not together. But most of the time you'll be together. So, and the hole that we dug, when you're in that hole, you're right next to each other. You can't get away from each other. You're doing your own thing, I'm doing my own thing, but yet you're right there together. And the hole that we dug, we used to play like Cowboys and Indians, or I was always Indian and I would always die. You'd be like, run up there, I'll shoot you. But we used to run into this hole, and it would be our protection, from imaginary things. And in your guys' relationship, you guys aren't going to have imaginary enemies. You're going to have real things that are going to come against you. Secrets, lies, Satan, sin is going to come against you. And those aren't fake things, those are real life things, And this hole represents Christ. That's what it is, You get to hide in Him, and He protects you fully from that. Because it's a real thing. And so remember that. As things are getting hard and you guys are fighting, because I'm not married, so I don't know, so just take this how you want, But it's going to get hard. I've seen people fight and take that and hide it. That's what we did. But sometimes we would hide from each other in that hole. We would fight, and we'd be like, where are they? We'd be hiding in the hole from the other person. But you guys don't get to hide away from each other. You have to be together. And so, there's this verse, Matthew 22:39, and you all know it says, and the second is like it, love your neighbor as yourself. You usually think of your neighbor as a person who is next door, away from you, but now your closest neighbor is each other. Now your neighbors. The neighbor is usually the person that smells or is next door, makes a lot of noise, that you don't really want to be with, but you're like, hey, I love you, I'll bake you a pie. But now you guys are neighbors. And you're the closest to each other. And so you're going to have to love each other, which is really exciting because you guys do, and we all see it, and it's so exciting because when we see you guys just love each other, The first time you guys started dating when I was away, and I came home super late at night, and I woke up really late in the day, and you were over, and I was like, what you guys? And then they was like, you're dating? I was like, woo! Because no one told me, but I was excited, so I never told you that. But and the last thing is, when we dug this hole, we always have to stop and help each other, because you would always dig faster than me, and you'd always go deeper than me, and you can't dig a hole lopsided. And so as you guys are growing together, dig at the same time and at the same rate and together, because if you're not digging together, you're not growing together. And so my hope is that as you guys continue your marriage, that you dig together and dig equally and with the same strength. So I love you guys, and here's a shovel. So there you go. Let's toast.